No! No, no, no! Malachi! Malachi, wake up! Something is moving.
I told you everything has a price, Kundai. Did you think the gold was free?
Help me! Teterudo! Teterudo! Mama! Please.
But how did she get here? Listen, I'll tell you.
Kundai! Cuckoo! The sun is high. The other girls have already passed the gate on their way to school. Get up and wash your face.
Go away, Mama. I'm tired.
Tired? The sun is high and you are still hiding under the blankets. Come, education is the only bridge to a better life.
I don't want your bridges, Mama. I want to sleep. Is that a crime in this house?
Child, you will destroy yourself with this laziness.
My Chiedza, leave the girl alone. Why are you always fighting with her?
Because she refuses to go to school, Tinashe. Because she sits in that bed like a stone while the world passes by.
Let her rest, my love. Cuckoo is tired. She is a delicate flower. The world can wait for her.
Thank you, Baba.
In the valley of Nyathi, where the mountains hold the secrets of their ancestors, lived a girl named Kundai. She was the only fruit of her parents' vine, born into a love so thick it became a poison. Her father, Sekuru Tinashe, had declared the moment she took her first breath that her feet should never touch the rough thorns of this earth. While other children walked to school before the sun had wiped the sleep from its eyes, Kundai slept. While they worked in fields and learned their duties, Kundai dreamed of a life she hadn't earned.
Kunda, will you say hello to your elders?
I don't greet people who smell like fish.
As she grew, Kundai became the terror of the Nyathi markets. She would walk past the elders without a word of greeting, her chin held so high she could see the clouds. Rumors soared like dust devils.
That girl will bring shame to her family. Mark my words.
When the villagers came to Sekuru Tinashe to complain, he would simply smile, reach into his worn leather pouch and pay for whatever was broken. He bought her silence, and in doing so, he bought her destruction. Tragedy does not announce itself, it simply arrives. One Tuesday, under a sky that looked like bruised plums, Sekuru Tinashe climbed the great Nchakata tree at the edge of the forest. He sought the sweetest haja to please his daughter's palate. He was still thinking of her, still trying to fill the hunger in her heart with the things she desired.
Baba, you can't leave me. Who will give me what I need?
Listen to how she cries. She cries for her lost comforts, not for the man's soul.
My husband. My pillar has fallen.
Death is a quiet roommate. Once the wailing stopped and the funeral pots were washed, silence moved into the house. The kind of silence that speaks louder than screams. The laughter died with the money. The fine clothes Kundai once wore began to fray at the seams. The meals shrank until there was only one bowl of watery porridge to share between them. Mai Chia's hands grew cracked as she worked double shifts in the maize fields. But Kundai remained a statue of arrogance. She refused to touch the hoe. She refused to sweep the house. Instead, she spent her days wandering the village square, looking at the other girls with an envy that burned like acid.
Kundai, I have made a decision. I cannot watch you rot in this village. I will send you to the city.
The city? Really?
You'll live with Teterudo. She is strict, but wise. She will teach you to work.
The city has lights, doesn't it, Mama? And people dress beautifully there?
Kuku, the city is a trap. It has lights, but those lights can blind you. Promise you will listen to Tete.
I promise, Mama.
Kuku. Oh, my child. I hope the city is kinder to you than you are to yourself.
The journey to the city was a long descent into noise and neon. Kundai watched the dust of Nyathi fade behind her, and she felt no sadness. She felt only hunger. Hunger for the life she believed was waiting for her. When they arrived at Teterudo's house, the air smelled of diesel and frying oil. The gate was rusty, but the yard was swept so clean you could see your reflection in the dirt. Standing at the gate was a woman with eyes like sharp needles, Teterudo.
So, this is the girl who refused to work in Nyathi. The one who made her mother weep. I am here to learn, Tete. Yes, you will learn. This city has many teachers, and not all of them are kind.
But Kundai did not hear the warning in Teterudo's words. She was too busy looking past the rusty gates, past the saloon, past the humble houses, looking towards the bright lights of the city, calling her name. In 3 days, she would meet a man named Malakai, and in 3 months, she would understand what her mother meant when she spoke of traps. But by then, it would be too late. She didn't know that the city had been waiting for her, that it had heard her prayers of escape, that it feeds on girls like this.